Manchester United's Antony is being formally investigated by police in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and potentially faces charges of domestic violence against his ex-girlfriend. It doesn't seem to be a normal day at Manchester United at present, whether it is on the field, defeats, poor performances, ongoing disputes between the management and players. Of course, the catastrophically handled situation surrounding Mason Greenwood for the past 18 months and the harrowing situation that surrounded that. Again, Manchester United are being dragged through the mud, more negative press, more negative attention. And of course, Man United being dragged through the mud isn't the most important thing in this situation. Of course it isn't. It is the alleged victim and the suffering she may have been caused, the problems that she has faced. That is the main focus here, which everybody should have. We cover sport and we cover Man United. We cover them as part of the top six. And there just appears to be such problems at the football club, and this is adding to it. In terms of the story in itself, as we mentioned, he's formally being investigated by police in Sao Paulo. The report has access to photos, videos, conversations, and testimonies from witnesses which reveal threats, intimidation, and physical actions from Antony. One of the videos in the investigation shows an injury that exposes the bone in Gabriella, who is his girlfriend's, fingers. Now, most of this hasn't been made public. There are two pictures that have transpired that have been released, as you can see here, of injuries to fingers and what appears to be a gash or cut to the top of the head of the alleged victim. We haven't had access, as in the world and the media, to the videos, to the voice notes and the messages to categorically prove that Antony has done this. I think the Mason Greenwood situation was different for a lot of people because we could hear the voice. Therefore, you'd put the voice plus the pictures together and you would come to what in most people's eyes felt like a 2 plus 2 = 4 conclusion. This is less clean cut. However, this has to be taken seriously by Manchester United. So when I said earlier that there's not a day goes by without there being a problem on or off the pitch at the moment, this is the problem that Man United have to take seriously. Our first thought of fans, some may go towards the football club and their behavior to it, and I actually think that's right. I feel for the alleged victim. In terms of our involvement in this as Man United fans, we have to hope that our club does the right thing. They have to launch an informal investigation. In my personal opinion, they need to look at this situation. They need to ask for access to as much information as possible and be satisfied that continuing to play Antony is the right thing morally, the right thing for the player, the right thing for the victim, and the right thing for the football club. If there is, as according to the report today, photos, videos, conversations, and testimonies that Antony has done this, Man United need to be all over it. Of course, there's going to be a legal proceedings that the club will be privy to at a certain amount of time, and there might be certain information they can't have access to because it may prejudice the case. I'm not a legal expert, but you know, we've lived long enough. I've read about enough stories to have an understanding to a degree of this. But Man United have to be all over it. And if this report is true and the videos prove that Antony has done it, yes, he deserves his day in court. But the same energy has to apply to him as it did Mason Greenwood. If there is evidence that he has done it and you can see it, this is big trouble. More of the reports here as well. And this goes on to say that Gabriella recalls one time when Antony tried to hit her in the face with a glass. She said that Antony locked the door of a house and wouldn't let me go out. And I had my finger opened, all hurt. He broke my things, took my passport. His mother and stepfather even trapped him inside a football court. He had a football court inside his living room, surrounded by a fence. He was upset, trying to get out of the court in any way, throwing a football at me, throwing a cell phone at me, and said he was going to kill me and that he was going to kill himself. So what's really interesting about this is the claim says that his mother and his stepfather were there. Maybe they are part of the witnesses. And again, I'm not someone that I believe in innocent until proven guilty. I believe that Antony, he's already responded once publicly to this in the past, has every right to defend himself and a fair trial. That shouldn't be removed. I don't think we should just assume guilt. And I know I said a few minutes ago, though, that if there is video evidence and footage, Man United need to act accordingly. And that just means stopping him playing for the club until this investigation is settled. So if he's not charged, if the police investigate this and they look at it and say, actually, we don't think he did it, or he's innocent, or there isn't enough, and he's released and this isn't going any further, then, yeah, play if there's no proof that he did it. If there is evidence suggesting he may have done it, for me, until the investigation ends, so until he's charged and then proven innocent or found guilty, he should be suspended from playing. Where it would look atrocious for Man United is to say, well, he hasn't been charged yet, he can continue to play. Oh, he's been charged now, and then he's found guilty, but yet the whole time that process was going on, he was still kicking a ball for the club. And I'm not saying we just need to do this to protect ourselves from a PR point of view. There is that element, but this is about Man United doing the right thing. Especially if the evidence that they say is available is there. And if a newspaper's got it, I'm sure they can share it with Manchester United, just sign a very comprehensive NDA so Man United can't prejudice the case, and then ensure that the right action is taken. We've seen the club handle some situations horrendously in recent times, and this is, as I say, just another bad day for the football club. My hope is that he's innocent. And my hope is that he's innocent for one main reason. That means there hasn't been a victim of this at the end of the situation. I hope he's innocent because I hope that he didn't do this. I'd like to think that he wouldn't do this. I do hope for Man United's sake that he didn't do this as well. There are footballing reasons for that, and which are obvious. But as I say, it's another horrendous day for Manchester United, and the bad news continues to come thick and fast. It's another day that potentially brings shame. Some of you may not think it is. They'll say innocent until proven guilty. I'm not going to pay this any attention. But I personally think that we should not be burying our heads in the sand on this. He has been named. There is a formal investigation. The club, as far as I'm concerned, has to act. I want to know what you think. I want to know what you feel in the comment sections below, because it's a serious thing. I'm not going to do the whole asking for likes and everything else like we normally do, just because it's a bit magoo to do that at this point. Yeah, just so disappointed to hear this is going on. I really, really am. Until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Look after yourselves. And we'll speak soon.